forest floor was a tapestry of fallen leaves and damp earth, the smell thick with a metallic tang of blood. Elias stumbled, his injured shoulder screaming in protest, each movement a fresh wave of pain. The architect's rhythmic footsteps echoed behind him, a relentless percussion against the backdrop of the facility's distant alarms. Young Thorne, surprisingly nimble despite his own injuries, stayed close, a silent guardian. "We can't keep this up," Elias gasped, leaning against a gnarled oak. "He's gaining on us." Young Thorne didn't respond, his eyes darting nervously between Elias and the approaching sentinel. The architect moved with an unsettling precision, a machine of purpose devoid of any flicker of emotion. "He's enhanced," and Thorne said, his voice barely a whisper. "Temporal shielding, I think. That's why he's unaffected by the distortions." Elias grunted, pushing himself upright. "And you're not? You're feeling the ripples, aren't you? The temporal vertigo?" "Less than you," young Thorne admitted. Something's protecting me. A residual effect, maybe. A quirk in the Loom's resonance." The Loom. The word resonated with an unsettling significance, the concept both immense and unfathomable. Elias knew it was integral to Thorne's fate, but its true nature remained elusive. Suddenly, a voice, ancient and resonant, echoed within their minds. Asterisk, the tapestry unravels. The thread breaks. The past bleeds into the future. Asterisk. Elias clutched his head, the telepathic intrusion jarring. What was that? Young Thorne paled. The Guardians. They speak through the Loom. The architect's pace quickened, closing the distance. Elias knew they couldn't maintain this pace. He needed a plan, anything to shake off their pursuer. "There's a ravine just ahead." Elias said, pointing through the trees. "It's overgrown, but it might offer some cover." They plunged into the undergrowth, scrambling down the steep embankment. The ravine was a narrow chasm choked with thorny vines and fallen branches. The architect, less adept at navigating the uneven terrain, faltered momentarily. "He's anticipated your maneuver," young Thorne said, grimacing as he pulled a thorn from his arm. "The Loom allows him to perceive probabilities." Asterisk, the echoes deceive. The path bends. Asterisk, the Guardian's voice returned, a cryptic warning. I had the ravine opened onto a clearing, bathed in the eerie glow of the facility's emergency lights. In the center of the clearing stood a monolithic structure, constructed from a dark, unknown metal. It pulsed with a faint, rhythmic hum. "What is that?" Elias breathed. "It's a node," young Thorne said, his voice trembling. "A nexus point for the Loom's resonance, and it's active. It's drawing power." As they watched, symbols began to glow on the surface of the monolith, strange, archaic glyphs that seemed to writhe and shift before their eyes. Elias recognized them, a jolt of dread seizing him. "Sumerian," he whispered. "There's a Sumerian script." He remembered the fragments he had found in Thorne's research, the cryptic references to ancient deities and a forgotten technology. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. The air crackled with energy. From within the monolith, a shimmering portal materialized, swirling with kaleidoscopic colors. Asterisk, the gateway opens. The shadow stirs. Asterisk, the Guardian's voice boomed, laced with an urgency that transcended language. A figure emerged from the portal. It wasn't human, tall and gaunt, with skin like polished obsidian and eyes that burned with an unearthly light. It moved with a sinuous grace that defied description. What is asterisk, that asterisk?" Young Thorne stammered, his face pale with terror. The creature turned its gaze upon them, and Elias felt a wave of paralyzing fear wash over him. "The architect is not your only threat," it hissed, its voice a chilling symphony of clicks and whispers. "The Loom draws more than just temporal energy. It attracts those who dwell between worlds." The architect, having recovered from his stumble, advanced upon them, his energy weapon raised. The creature regarded him with disdain. "The Guardian's loyal servant," it mocked. "A pawn in a game you do not understand." It raised a hand, and the architect abruptly froze, suspended in midair as if trapped within an invisible field. "We are not here to harm you, little ones," the creature continued, its voice laced with an ancient weariness. "We merely seek to restore balance. The Loom isn't stable. Its power must be contained." Young Thorne, displaying an unexpected surge of defiance, stepped forward. "What do you want us to do?" The creature fixed its gaze upon Elias. "The key lies within the Sumerian script. Decipher the symbols. Unlock the failsafe. Only then can the Loom be stabilized." It glanced at the still suspended architect, then turned back to Elias. "The others are coming. You have little time." With that, the creature retreated back into the portal, which then vanished without a trace, leaving only the eerie silence of the forest. The architect, released from his temporal stasis, immediately resumed his pursuit. But something had changed. The air was charged with a new sense of urgency, a feeling that the stakes were far higher than Elias had ever imagined. "The script," young Thorne said, his voice shaking. "We have to find it. Before they do." Elias looked back at the direction the creature had vanished. The pursuit was no longer about escaping an older version of Thorne or a facility's security. It was about preventing something far more terrible from being unleashed upon the world. He limped onward, his shoulders screaming in protest, the weight of the future heavy on his shoulders. He knew, with a chilling certainty, that their journey had only just begun.